Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Atul Mishra. Short-term gain and long-term pain. The phrase perfectly epitomizes Joe Biden's recent hostile acts against Europe and Russia. Yes, we're talking about the gas pipeline sabotage episode. Some might call it a strategic masterstroke, but the fact of the matter is that the EU and the US might soon become the staunchest rivals. The Biden administration has set the cat among the pigeons by sabotaging the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. In Europe, it has sparked an anti-US movement. For instance, the German internet is inundated with anti-US posts in the aftermath of the pipeline explosions. Recently, the Germans were seen trending sanctions against the US hashtag on Twitter. The anger among the Germans against US is real, and it's obvious too. The American attack on the Russia-operated pipelines has seriously jeopardized Europe's energy security. Moreover, the bombing of the pipelines has also made Europe heavily dependent on US LNG imports. US LNG is unreasonably costlier than the natural gas imported through pipelines. At a time when Europe is already grappling with soaring inflation, importing LNG from US is not considered a preferred option. All in all, the sabotage of the pipelines is terrible news for European economies. So it looks like 3 European nations have vowed to bring justice to the Europeans. Reuters on September 30th reported that the governments of Sweden, Denmark, and Germany have joined hands to investigate the matter. Magdalena Andersson, Swedish Prime Minister, told a press conference, "It is, of course, important to establish what has happened, the cause of the leaks. We have today agreed that the police authorities in Sweden, Denmark, and Germany should cooperate in order to clarify what has happened." The Prime Minister further said, Swedish police will cooperate with Danish and German counterparts to investigate what caused the explosions on the 2 gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea. Now, if an honest investigation takes place into the bombing of the Russian pipelines, USA might really see itself landing on a hot tin roof. For Germany, finding the real culprit behind the attacks is of extreme significance. The German economy is on ventilator support, and the economic crisis may even spur a political crisis in the country. So Olaf Scholz is in a precarious position. He urgently needs to find the main culprit and punish it, be it the US or UK. The fact of the matter is that the pipeline attack fiasco can permanently render US-Europe ties defunct. European nations are realizing that stripping Europe of its economic prosperity and fueling USA's economic growth at the expense of the EU is the ultimate objective of the Ukraine war. The results of the war are already visible. On one hand, US has become the top LNG exporter to Europe. On the other, US is also shamefully enticing crisis-ridden European companies into shifting their businesses to the US, where the business environment remains comparatively less hostile. As some geopolitical analysts see it, the pipeline attack might look like a strategic masterstroke on Biden's part. However, its long-term implications are disastrous for the US-Europe relations. The Nord Stream episode will sow the seeds of discord between the 2 powers. And once the Nord Stream pipelines go online again, Europe will simply shift back to the energy trade with Russia. Through sabotaging Nord Stream pipelines, Biden has achieved what Putin could not achieve over the last 2 decades. For the first time, anti-US sentiments are spreading in Europe like wildfire, and Putin is going to gain the most out of it. So once the Ukraine war is over, US and EU will not be seeing eye to eye on the Russian equation. EU will prefer Russia above the US. Biden will be left with no other option than whining in pain.
It looks like Joe Biden has vowed to shut down every submarine pipeline transporting gas to Europe. First off, the US allegedly sabotaged Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines beyond repair. Now it seems like two more pipelines have come on the White House radar. And if Biden manages to pull off his notorious ambitions, Europe is going to face a devastating, crippling energy crisis, which would help Biden clinch bulkier gas exports revenue for the US. The sabotaging of the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines has dealt a severe blow to Europe's energy security. Even a fifth grade student can rightly judge who the real culprit is behind this strategic move. Obviously, it's the US. It was a joint operation carried out by the CIA and US military. According to Flight Radar 24 data, US Navy Sikorsky MH-60R Seahawk helicopter spent hours hovering above the vicinity of the ruptured natural gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea near Bornholm on September 1, 2, and 3. This development has infuriated Russians as well as Germans. They both understand the sabotage would only serve the American financial interests at the expense of stability in Europe and Russia. Soon after the sabotage, Germans even kicked off an online campaign to get US sanctioned and punished. But the US president is not done yet. For Biden to dig his claws deeper into EU's energy market, every single pipeline carrying gas into EU needs to be cut off. So he's after two more pipelines now. After sabotaging the Nord Stream pipelines, Biden could be looking forward to rendering Norwegian pipelines dysfunctional. To put things in perspective, Norway is a major worldwide oil provider as well as Europe's top gas supplier. It contains more than 90 offshore oil and gas fields, the majority of which are linked by a 9,000-kilometer long network of gas pipelines. So Norway is now scrambling to safeguard its gas pipeline from an anticipated US attack. Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre stated at a press conference the military will be more visible at Norwegian oil and gas installations. According to him, the Navy will be sent out to sea to guard offshore assets while on land. Police may set up their presence at facilities. Interestingly, Norway has already reported abnormal aerial activities in the vicinity of its pipelines. On Monday itself, unidentified drones were spotted flying close to Norwegian offshore oil and gas platforms. Norway's Petroleum Safety Authority had warned that they could pose a risk of accidents or deliberate attacks. On Wednesday, Støre said that the sightings of drones occurred mainly in September, that they involved drones of various sizes, and that the activity was abnormal. So one can imagine how desperate Joe Biden is getting to further strangulate EU and push it into US energy trap. Moreover, Biden also has his devilish eyes set on the TurkStream natural gas pipeline, which runs under the Black Sea to Turkey and then to Serbia and Hungary. Recently, the CEO of South Stream Transport BV, a subsidiary of Russia's Gazprom, which is registered in Netherlands, announced that the Netherlands has revoked its operating licenses necessary for maintenance works. Reportedly, the suspension affects all contracts related to the technical support of the gas pipeline, including design, manufacture, assembly, testing, repair, maintenance, and training. It looks like the Netherlands has revoked the firm's license at USA's behest, and the ground is being laid to throw the spanner in the works of the TurkStream pipeline. Clearly, the Biden administration is hell-bent on shutting down every door for Europe, but the US for meeting its gas needs. TurkStream is the last remaining pipeline for Russian natural gas to reach the EU. So once the pipeline is put offline, EU will be forced to beg US for extra gas imports, even at insanely inflated prices. To shore up USA's ailing economy, Biden is pushing EU into a total catastrophe.